What's up, everybody? It is Michelle Renee from IamMichelleRenee.com, and today I have the beautiful Tammy Jackson-Moore with me. Welcome, Miss Tammy.
Hi, Michelle. Thanks for having me.
It's my pleasure. So tell us a little bit about where you're from and what your brand is.
Yes, I am from the beautiful city of Jacksonville, Florida, born and raised, went to school there. Lots and lots of family are still there in the North Florida region. And my brand is primarily a brand of helping, assisting, engaging, and uplifting people. I have a very, very keen focus on engaging, encouraging, and empowering women.
So that makes us kindred spirits, right? And I think that's probably why we instantly kind of connected when we met. Tammy, as you see in the background, is a lovely member of Zeta Phi Beta Sorority Incorporated. And I'm a member of Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated. And in the community that we worked within, we crossed paths constantly. And so I would see your name, like prior to me even getting to know you on a more individual level, I would see your name everywhere. Or I would see you just in the midst of different people or different circles or different organizations. I'm going, who is this lady? Like, who is she? And I know you're probably like, well, who is this lady? Who is she? So as our paths began to cross more often, and I took note to the type of work that you were doing, I became even more enthralled and intrigued with what it is that you have going on. So I know one of your businesses is the Jackson-Moore Group, which is a consulting firm, and the other is Guardians of the Glades. Can you give us a little bit about each one of those organizations?
Certainly. JacksonMoore Group is a public relations and consulting firm. And what I primarily do is to help businesses, organizations, and sometimes individuals reach their next level of success. Oftentimes, there is a level of success that we don't even know that we can reach. So I try to identify strategies to help that organization or that business to reach that level of success. Sometimes we think that we have plateaued on our success and there's no additional ladders that we need or must climb, but we can always do business and do business better so that we can serve more and more people on a more and more efficient way. So I'm working with businesses and organizations and individuals to assist them in getting to their next level of success. The other one, Guardians of the Glades, is a nonprofit 501c4 organization that stands to represent and be a mouthpiece for the people in the Belgrade, Pahokee, and South Bay area. And we were formed about 4 years ago when there was a lot of conversation about buying land, which is in the Glades community, and sending the water south to create a water reservoir. And we identified that if they were successful in doing that, that would take away more than 4,000 jobs from our community. And we're talking about 4,000 jobs that Black and brown people occupy. Absolutely. And I wanted to, number one, educate people about what that would look like. And number two, encourage those lawmakers that had the decision making in their hands to understand that this community is extremely important, not only to the people that reside in this community, but to all of Palm Beach County, the state of Florida, and the country. This community feeds the world, and people need to know that. And we feed the world off of the back of the people that live right here in the Glades community. Like I say, a lot of Black and brown people. And we need to make certain that those people are protected, as well as well-informed and able to present and represent themselves. So we try to make certain that we are educating people about what's happening and encouraging them to stand up and speak on their behalf. And then there are some times when they're not able to stand up because they are working, they are taking care of families and things of that nature. So we be that mouthpiece on their behalf.
That is such a phenomenal statement, not just because it's so eloquently put, but also the validity of it. The muck area, the Glades feeds the world, like literally feeds the world. And to understand it, most people don't recognize and are not familiar with the area and don't realize the impact that this small community has on the entire world. So right. Being able to have someone and have a group of people to voice that is truly something that we couldn't even put a price on. So that's amazing. How did you get started in the work that you do?
Growing up as a kid, I would see my mom just helping people or on the phone, directing and guiding people as to who they need to speak to and what they need to say as it relates to representing whatever their hassles or plans were. And then as I got a little older, I would notice that people would come to my family members' houses, my aunt and uncle, to help them complete paperwork, to navigate the school district, to just do a lot of different things. And they were always there to help them, hold their hands and talk with them and guide them. So it's kind of like just within me, because I've always been around that so often. So I just grew up knowing that you needed to help people. Oftentimes we're in this world and we're not of this world. And we need to make certain that we understand that it's not always about us. You need to be able to help people and assist people to get where they are, because everybody needs assistance. We need to recognize that we don't know it all. And we're all going to have to depend on somebody at some point. So I just want to be able to help people, encourage people, and present them or guide them in a fashion that they can be successful in whatever it is that they want to be. Oftentimes people don't know how to open a door. If I can open that door for them and then they can go in and represent themselves, I'm willing to do just that. So I like to be what I call a community connector and a community convener.
That's amazing. And that's a perfect segue for my next question, because I was going to ask, what is your impact on the Black African American community? And I know personally what I've seen, but give the people kind of an idea of the impact that your organizations, both of them, have had on the community of Blacks and African Americans.
My consulting firm has been very, very active, especially during this COVID crisis, with making certain that businesses are aware of and able to apply and hopefully receive COVID CARES funding so that they can continue to maintain their business. So I have gone in and I've met with businesses. I've talked to them about different funding opportunities that are available for them, help them to gather those materials that they need to actually apply for those dollars. And some of them I've actually did the application for them so that they can get those dollars and receive them. And I'm super, super excited that there are several businesses in the Glades that have successfully completed those application processes and have received some of those dollars from the county as it relates to the federal CARES dollars that came here. And then secondly, with the COVID-19, most recently, what Guardians of the Glades is involved in is we have a huge food distribution program, and it's done every Friday in different locations throughout the Glades. And we're serving more than 100,000 pounds of food to people that are experiencing food insecurities throughout the Glades communities. And that's big, because when we saw COVID come here and impact our communities, we saw people that lost their jobs. We saw people that their hours were cut, and they were beginning to experience food insecurity. So if we, the Guardians of the Glades, as well as other organizations, can come together and meet that need for them as it relates to food, that's one less thing that they have to worry about for them and their families. So it's just a very, very fulfilling environment when you're there on those Fridays, and to hear people say, God bless you, thank you for this. I don't know how we could make it from week to week without these food products. It's just very, very fulfilling. So we're very, very thankful to be able to provide that to the people in our community. And we're thankful that the people find that to be very much resourceful to them as it relates to those things that they're encountering right now.
That's wonderful. I'm so happy that you covered the piece in the pandemic, because that was going to be my next question, is to ask how the pandemic has affected your business. I know how your business have helped to impact the community as it relates to the pandemic, but how has it ultimately affected the JacksonMoore Group and Guardians of the Glades?
I have seen that both of the organizations, JacksonMoore Group and Guardians of the Glades, has been extremely busy. Our business has increased some since this pandemic. So, the pandemic has not been good for some, but it has been good for my business as well as the Guardians. It's given us a bigger opportunity to reach and engage more people and provide to them the service that they actually need. And oftentimes we need to make certain that we're providing a service that is is needed by the people, not a service that we just come up with in our head thinking that this might work. If it's needed by the people, it will be very, very well received by the people. So
Absolutely.
it's been very, very helpful to us, the COVID-19. We have been able to expand our brand because of COVID-19. There were some that probably never heard of JacksonMoore Group or the Guardians of the Glades prior to COVID-19, but now they know about us, and we would hope that that partnership and that relationship would continue on even post COVID-19.
Absolutely. What are some things or some advice you might give for those who, we have a lot of young people who, as we delve off into different things, very few people know how to go or how to get into doing the type of work, the type of service work that you do. What would be your advice for a young person looking to maybe develop a nonprofit or develop some type of business that seeks to support their communities?
You know, if you have an idea, birth that idea. Don't sit on that idea. Birth it. Do what you need to do. Have those conversations with those professionals within that arena, what your idea might support. Start talking to people and start asking them, how can you get involved with what they're doing? You know, there are so many people that would love to mentor young people, but young people need to let people know that they are interested in being mentored. I mentor 3 young ladies right now, and it's just amazing the amount of let me say, the things that they're looking to learn. They are like little sponges, and they're just soaking up information, and I just love that. So you have to be willing to accept criticism, be willing to go to somebody and ask them to be your mentor, and then be willing to put in the work. You got to put in the work. I will tell you, Guardians of the Glades was formed about 4 years ago. We are just now starting to pick up a lot of the traction now that we would have hoped for 4 years ago. So it just doesn't happen overnight, but you got to be willing to put in the work and stay committed and make certain that you keep pushing and pushing and pushing, and eventually it will take off. But you got to put in the work. You got to put in the work.
Absolutely. I couldn't agree more. Is there anything else that you would like for people to know about you or your brand?
You know what's interesting, and I'll tell you this. I don't know if you know this, Michelle. I was a teen mother.
No, I
I,
didn't know.
I was a teen mother. I had my first child when I was 16 years old. So she and I grew up together, and we're really, really close right now. But I encourage teen mothers, don't give up.
That's
Don't give up. That should not be a setback. If nothing else, that time in my life encouraged me to just dig my heels in deeper and go a little bit harder, because I did not want to be a statistic, and I wanted to do it and be successful because of my daughter. And that's what I did. And I didn't give up. And I encourage young teens all the time, don't give up. You know, sometimes we have a bump in the road, sometimes we fall, sometimes we don't know how we're going to move on and keep it going, but just stay committed and don't give up. You fall down, get back up, dust yourself off, and start all over again. It's never too late to relearn. It's never too late to re-engage. It's never too late to get back involved. Just do it. Never stop. Just do it. Like the Nike slogan, just do it. And I encourage people to just do it all the time. You just don't give up, because I could have given up, and then you would not have seen the JacksonMoore Group or Tammy Jackson-Moore in this phase at all. But I just knew that I wanted to be successful, especially for my daughter. And then I had a family that I did not want to let down. So just stay encouraged and never stop.
That is so powerful. So many young women need to hear that message, be it a teen mom or not. They need to hear, don't give up, don't, sleep on your dreams, whatever you have inside of you that you want to birth it.
Absolutely.
Both the literal and the figurative, like
Mhm.
birth it. And then don't be afraid to evolve, right?
Right.
That's
Right.
powerful. So tell us, now that we know all this amazing stuff about you, tell us, how can we reach out to you? What are your social media handles? How do we get in touch with you? What's the best way to connect?
You know, one of the best ways to find me is on the Facebook platform.
Okay.
I have a very, very active Facebook platform, both my personal and the Guardians of the Glades, as well as my business. So Guardians of the Glades is Guardians of the Glades. My personal, Tammy Jackson-Moore, and then my business, the JacksonMoore Group. And on all three of those pages, I try to depart little facts, factoids, pieces of wisdom, and then encouraging and empowering words to make certain that your day will be a day that only you can be responsible for. You know, there's so much destined for all of us. And sometimes we will fall off, and sometimes we will get discouraged, and some days we won't have great days. But it's we should make the best of every single day. You know, if you're having a bad Monday, make certain that your Tuesday is better than your Monday.
That's right. That's right. You are such a breath of fresh air. Such a dope Black woman. Every time I'm in your presence, I am elated. You are a ray of sunshine. So I'm so grateful that you were willing to come and be on this platform and allow me to share you with the world, because you truly deserve to be shared. Thank
Thank
you
you
so
so
much.
much, Michelle. I appreciate that. Thank
It's
you
my
so much.
pleasure.